Hello and welcome to the most magical show in the keyboard community. I'm your host Merlin and welcome to the Magic Build Stream. Today we have the KBDFans KBD67 Mark II RGB to build for you all. This is a very popular keyboard. It came out on a Thursday and within 4 days it was already in people's hands. It actually sold out in under 10 minutes and it was $229. So today I'm finally gonna be able to build it. You guys, let me just show you what I have right here. Boom. So it came in two boxes. The first one was the PCB. The second one is actually the rest of the keyboard right here. I've already showed these on stream before, but why not show it again? Here we go. And just for comparison's sake, I actually have my Doro 67 here, just because it's a similar layout board. Figured I'd put it out here too. Let's see, let's turn on the RGB. My fingers can't reach that far. There we go. KBD67 is also an RGB in-switch board, so this will be a good comparison. Yeah. Okay, let's see who's on today. 24 viewers. Thanks guys for watching. Hello Saran. Fluffy was taken. Thank you for joining in. Just got out of the shower and all prepared for the stream. I better entertain you with the KBD67. I will try my best. And there goes the box. Alright, let's see. Let's play some music for you all while I just briefly talk about the PCB. There we go. So I really like the KBDFans packaging for all of these. They make sure your PCB is well protected. They've got your instruction on how to test the board before you start. And they've got suitable padding right here. The only thing I'm a little bit iffy about is that this is bubble wrapped. Like, it would have been great if it was actually put in a ESD protection sleeve. But yeah, here we go. Thank you for following. Let's see. Look at that. It's an all black hot swap PCB. I'm actually not sure if I03 built this board. He usually has his name on the board if it's so, but I don't see any of it on here. This looks to be like the PCB looks like it was made by DZ Tech, which I think is the third-party PCB designer that KBDFans has. So if you're familiar with the DZ60 RGB or the DZ65 RGB, this comes close to it. If you look close, it's got your BL switch toggle right there. So right now it's on normal mode. If you want to flash it, you just flip it over to BL mode and that's how you flash the board. In terms of anything else I've seen here, it's got RGB in every single switch position. USB-C only supports one particular layout. And it's got pinouts so you can test the board in case things go haywire. Merlin, didn't you receive this board like a week ago? Well, yeah, that's true, but I just didn't have time to build it just then. As excited as I was, I managed to hold off, which was good because other people have built this board. And I've been able to read up on some of the difficulties that people had. So one thing about this PCB that I'm hearing in the community is that when you plug it in, and you turn on all the RGBs, you can hear a faint buzzing sound. And that's not good. That's not good. So I actually wonder if I can hear it right now. Before I put it in the actual keyboard, I wonder if I can hear it just on its own. let's plug it in. I need to test the board anyway, so might as well start there. There we go. And it only happens when your RGBs are turned on. Can I hear it? Speak to me. I actually don't know where it's supposed to be coming from. But I've been told that this is a result of not using tantalum capacitors. But I'm looking at one which I believe to be a tantalum capacitor. It's the one over here, right there. It's the one that's beige colored. Yeah, I don't hear it. Who knows? Oh, whoops. Sorry, folks. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. Wrong scene indeed. I must have pressed the wrong button or so. Thanks, guys. But yeah, okay. So as I was saying earlier, this is where you reset the board. Right there. Come on, focus. There we go. There's that switch. If you're familiar with DZ60 and DZ65 boards, it's that same switch. You can switch it to BL mode once you want to flash it, and once you're done flashing, you can set it back to normal mode, like so. And yeah, as I was saying earlier, I believe that's a tantalum capacitor, the one over there. It's beige. So I don't know what that buzzing people are hearing. Maybe it's just that one particular customer, but I've heard at least 3 people complain about it. So maybe it's something I'll hear once the, what do you call that? Once the board is built. We'll see. Not entirely sure. Just showing off the PCB. I don't think I'll need the PCB quite yet, so I'll put it away. Oh wait, I said I was going to test it, so let's do that first. Before you build, make sure you test the PCB. Okay. Oh yeah, and as you can see off to the corner of my screen, I have the leftover of the Valduro white port that I was drinking on Tuesday. Since I actually broke the cork, I was unable to seal it, so I'm just like, okay, I might as well drink the whole thing. Not yet, MK. Thank you for subscribing at tier 1. Yeah, look at that. That sexy RGB underglow. Then of course there's this guy right here. The infamous Daro67. Mike O eats clams. This is the Daro67 that was run through 80 Ultraman and Backprop Studios. So basically the reason why I have this board out is they have the same layout, so I just wanted to compare the 2 boards before I, might as well turn on all my RGBs. Well, I'm at it. There we go. RGB mouse. RGBs. There we go. Okay, let's see. How shall we test this? Let us do this. Ooh. Test keyboard. Okay. So the way you guys test a hotspot board is from the back. And you want tweezers or a little wire. Like, don't be plugging these wires into these holes because you can end up actually increasing their size. And you don't want that. So the way to do it is just as the diagram says, do it from the back. Alright, so let's make sure everything works. Not all new boards work right off the bat, and I've actually flashed this with my desired layout, so I know what it's supposed to be. So far, so good. Let's hope it stays that way. And hopefully it stays that way until after the build. That's the thing with hot swaps. If you don't support the back while you're plugging the switch in, it's going to pop off the socket. And I know that from experience, unfortunately. Should be my FN key. The board works! Hooray, hooray! I wonder how many boards broke their hotspot boards by testing it wrong for them to include that notice. Yeah. I suspect a lot of people thought it would be the same as like a soldered board, where you just, you know, put your tweezers in the hole, and they might have just, you know, screwed up a bunch of boards. Who knows? Not yet. MK says off topic, but can we get your hot take on the space cables DOS situation that happened earlier? I just read about that. I read about it while I was at the gym, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. But, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. Yep. Wrong box. Let's just grab the correct box for this. Let's put the board away first. Now that I've confirmed the board works, I wanted to show you guys the rest of the board. Here we go, comes with all of the screws needed and the standoffs and feet, apparently. Good stuff. And yeah. Comes with the nice braided USB-C cable, A to C cable. GMK snap-in stabilizers. Yes, these are GMK. I looked through all of their Specs, these are indeed GMK, but not screw ends, unfortunately. And here's the actual board. I got the silver one, the brass plate. I think it looks pretty good. So unfortunately, this is not without its flaws. It's not without its flaws. On Tuesday when I pulled it out, I counted the number of defects that I found on it. There were 4 nicks all around. Let's see if I can find them. They were like, okay, I can see one right there. A small one right here. Then there were 2 on the back. And there was a small scratch on the actual weight itself. So these aren't perfect, unfortunately. But for $229, I don't think it's bad at all. Yeah, and thanks for joining in. KBDFans grade. Yeah, so, okay. So maybe I'm just like maybe I'm not so optimistic, but one of the reasons why I pulled out of Polaris was, number 1, I'm saving money for NorCal, and number 2, I just have a fear that with so many units sold, it's not going to be like perfect. Like what? This board only had 100 units sold, and I am not the only one with these issues. And I just found another scratch. Okay, yeah. So, Mike O. Eat Clam says, what's NorCal? NorCal, the NorCal Mechanical Keyboard Meetup is going to be held in the, what's the name of that hotel? The Mosaic Restaurant Bar over in San Jose on November 9th. And I'm from Seattle, Washington, so I'm saving up money so I can fly there, book a hotel, stay there for 2 nights, and have fun with people. And that's why I needed the money. I should get it Cerakoted, says Yan. Yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. I don't know what I'd get Cerakoted as yet. Alright, now put this away for the time being. Because first and foremost, for this build, we need to lube and clip these stabilizers. Mike O. Eat Clam says, oh, any vendors? There are usually quite a number of vendors. Like Seattle and NorCal are the biggest communities in the world, actually. And it's always like, Seattle is the largest meetup, and then NorCal happens. NorCal is the biggest meetup, and it just rotates back and forth, back and forth. So Seattle had over 360 attendees. I'm imagining and I'm hoping that NorCal will exceed that. So yeah, this is a place for vendors to be. You'll see people like, well, I don't know exactly who's gonna be going, but for Seattle, Canon Keys was there, Keebio was there, Novelkeys was there, switchmod.net was kinda there, a mass drop was there, or drop, I guess. Clueboard was there, QMK was there, obviously. And yeah, it's just like one of the meetups to be if you are a vendor. So yeah, I am greatly looking forward to that. But as I was saying earlier, the fact that I have defects when only 100 boards were shipped and sold, it makes me really wonder how Polaris will turn out. Meat Smoothie says, everything is West Coast. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe we just had more keyboards here, more more people who like keyboards. Who knows? Yeah, so everything I've said is not confirmed for Polaris. That's just my own, like, this is what I think is gonna happen. But I know for sure once I start seeing people have them, I'm gonna be hella jealous. So yeah. Alright, time to clip some stabilizers. Clip, 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 clip. On East Coast, there are meetups in Texas today. Oh, that's true. The Austin, Texas meetup is today. Austin, Texas has a fairly large community as well. The last time I was there for meetup, I attended the Houston meetup and got the opportunity to meet Tyson of Saraclack. And actually that's also the first time that I met Dixie as well, and 10 Strong, and quite a few people. So hopefully I'll have the opportunity to go again. My wife and I went last time and we really enjoyed Houston. Titan721 says, we do monthly meetups in Colorado. I'm assuming that's Colorado. Portland, Oregon does the same thing. They have their monthly meetups every last Saturday of the month. So that's actually going to be today as well. So today, probably at 7 p.m. Lots of meetups today, I guess. Sadly, all still to Western, nothing east of the Mississippi. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not mainstream enough yet that meetups are very accessible, but they are getting there. Snip, snip, snip. Boston does have meetups. Oh yeah, so disclaimer guys, I had known about the KBD67 Mark II happening for a while. And you know, if you actually go on their website, you'll see that they offer a hot swap and a soldered version. And I really wanted the soldered version because get this. I might as well show it to you guys. What the difference is between the hot swap and the soldered. Other than one is hot swap and one is soldered, okay? Okay, get this. Boom. Okay, hot swap PCB features, per key RGB, USB Type-C, soldered PCB features, in-switch backlighting, flex slot cutout, USB-C, and this is what I really wanted. ESD and overcurrent protection. Okay, so that's what scares me because through my I've helped a lot of people on KBDFans like sort out board problems, maybe QMK, basic debugging, and I've seen a lot of boards die because of the lack of this main feature, ESD and overcurrent protection. So the fact that the hot swap doesn't seem to have it, I'm kind of worried, you know. But, you know, is this like a inclusive list? Because the hot swap PCB obviously had in-switch backlighting, but I guess that's another way of saying per key RGB. So who knows? It's just makes me worried a bit. Doe CR2, thanks for joining in. He says, are you getting the key 65%? Oh man, that is one board that I wish I had paid more attention to because I probably wouldn't have gotten the KBD67 Mark II if I had remembered. But at the same time, my main reasons for getting this board is because I need a new work board, guys. I've been using an XD84 at work that's been aging, and I just don't like it. I wanted something smaller, and this was meant to be a work board, and being able to buy it and get it within 4 days was a huge decision-making factor. Yeah, I was very impressed with KBDFans for shipping with that speed. And I've heard rumors that there's some kind of a Chinese government mandated holiday break, like certain companies have to be on vacation for 7 days, and this was this past week. So the fact that they shipped it like right before that is very impressive. I'm quite pleased with that level of shipping. All for $229, guys. Key PCB, thanks for joining in. Lubed Helios, thanks for joining in. Lubed Helios, these are Helios right here. Not lube though, just regular Helios, but number of times I've used this board, they're probably closer to lube now since they're well broken in. Key PCB says, I have a bunch of MX Browns lying around. What should I do with them? There's really not much you can do with MX Browns, unfortunately. I don't know, I'd say put it in like a spare board that you have, a board that you wouldn't mind lending out to people to be like, hey, have you ever tried mechanical keyboards? Here's the board, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, in terms of actual usage, I don't think it's really good. All right, time to lube these up, guys. So a little shout out to Project Keyboard. If you've never heard of Project Keyboard, it's run by a gentleman named 159. He's responsible for the Kepler and the Sirius, and he sent me some lube. He actually sent me quite a lot of lube. I've lubed quite a few things with this so far, so thank you so much. This is 205, Krytox 205G0, and I like to use this to lube my stabilizer stems. See, Necrogami says, can we get a link to that board? You mean the KBD67? Sure. Boom, there we go. Link to the KBD67 Mark II. Okay. So when it comes to lubing your stabilizers, or at least the stem portion, I don't actually ever lube the stem. I lube the housing, and I put a little bit more than I normally do when lubing linear switches. Speaking of switches, I actually haven't talked about what I'm putting in this yet. Short story there. If you've paid attention to my other streams, I've recently bought the Novelkeys purple stemmed tactile Yock switches. And I was like, yeah, these are good. These are good. And then literally like 2 days after I bought them, Novelkeys is like, okay, restock of the Milky Top Gateron switches. I'm like, damn it, why? I could have combined my orders. So I went ahead and bought more Gateron Yellows, or one of my favorite stock linear switches. And they're supposed to arrive today. And I was gonna be like, I'll just put those in this keyboard. But as I said, they were supposed to arrive today. They did not. So I guess I'll be building a tactile board So I'm hoping this will be a fast build because it's hot swap. So I don't actually need to solder, you know? But we'll see. I've noticed this build has some gotchas. Like, okay, so when you have a top mount board and you have hot swap, that doesn't quite work very well. You need to somehow affix the PCB onto the plate just so it doesn't fall off. And there are quite a few standoffs that I have to figure out how to mount to the PCB and to the plate. I've already seen a few people build it without them. So I know it's possible, but probably not good for long-term usage. Especially if I'm planning to use this at work. Necrogami says, too many years of laptops, you don't like the feel of tactile. Yeah, I think I will always like tactile, but these days I've been a linear person. Yeah, and says, ew, hot swap. Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of hot swap, but some boards just come in hot swap. And as I explained earlier, I was hoping to get this board soldered, but it just wasn't available. So who knows, if I end up really liking this board, like really, really liking it, I might just buy a solderable PCB. The hot swap seems to be made by DZTech, which is, I think, the third-party PCB designer. But the ESD and overcurrent protection is a feature that IO3 always uses for his board. So I suspect that the soldered one is designed by him and the hot swap is DZTech. I have no means to corroborate that, but I guess I could always just ask him. Yeah, currently the only PCB available on KBDFans is hot swap. Like, if you are aware of hot swap's difficulties and know how to get around them, then more power to you. Shouldn't it read on the PCB who designed it? Yeah, that's what I thought, but when you look at this PCB, which I'll pull out again later once I'm putting the stabs on, you'll see that the only markings on it say KBD67 Mark II RGB. That's it. Nothing else. There is a channel and IO3 server that says KBD67 Mark II. Yes, that's true. I'm actually in it, and I've made a few comments in the last few days. Oh, nice. Um, that's funny how I was just talking about the Gateron yellows. I just got a notification on my screen that they got delivered. Great. But I will still build this board with those yaks. That's the beauty of Hot Swap. You can put whatever you want. And if you don't like it, swap it out. So yeah, I'll put the yak switches on if I don't like it. Gateron yellow. I know for a fact that I like Gateron yellow, so there is no question about that. Are they purple yak? Yes, they are. You do want to hear the purple. Yeah, you guys will hear it as soon as I'm done building. Yeah, I pulled it out a little bit on Tuesday just to give my quick impressions without putting it on a board. And they are more tactile than Zeal V1s. Not as tactile as Zeal V2s. But they have the same kind of tactility as Holy Pandas. But I'd say someone asked me if they were 80% of a Holy Panda. I'm like, definitely less than that. I'd say more like 60%. But that's also with me just holding it in my hands, like not without actually putting it in a keyboard. So I guess I'll find out today how I like them. Bree, you're here. Thanks for joining in. You're gonna buy 350 GAT yellows just to have the springs. Zaid B015 says, how do you recommend modding GAT yellows to make them better? Lubing them. Lubing them with what I'm lubing them, what these stabs with right now. 205G0. Lube them as light as you can. And then, yeah. Make sure you get the milky top version. Oh yeah, while I'm talking about Gateron yellows, I might as well talk about this. So, if you guys know who Walker is, Walker's Keyboard Science on YouTube. He's part of the Arizona community and is very active on the Top Clack Discord. He did a little test. Basically, he did a typing test of his fake canoe that had a hot swap sockets on it, and in one typing test he did one with the clear top, black bottom GAT yellows. Then on another typing test he did the milky top, black bottom ones. And based on the survey that he put out, there was like an overwhelming number of people actually said that the clear top, black bottom sounded better. So I'm not gonna say which switch was which, just in case you guys want to go and try it out, but it is very highly determined by what kind of speakers your computer has. You know, if you're just listening through crappy headphones, you really might not be able to hear the difference. I have some cheap Logitech speakers here. They're like, what? I got them for 35 bucks 5 years ago, so probably not very good. Necrogami says, what lube am I using? I am using 205G0 right now, just on the stab stems, or on the stab housing. I will then switch to using dielectric grease for the actual buyer. Alright. So Tommy Cran says that he's watched this video and that a lot of people got it wrong. I think that's just to show that sometimes sound could be in your head, you know? Like, to be fair, when I was at the Seattle meetup, I swear to you that I could hear the difference between clear top black bottom versus milky top black bottom, and I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely it. But you know, I could have been influenced knowing that that's what Upas of Canon Keys puts on his board, you know? Okay, I need to put the wires in. Yeah, I'm supposed to be drinking this, the last of the white port, which I do not like, by the way. If you guys do exclamation point port, you'll hear a quick description of what port I'm drinking. Not very good. Well, not good for a port. You might as well just buy a Riesling, because it tastes like you're drinking a Riesling. Okay, there we go. Dielectric grease. This is what I use for the actual stabilizer wires. Just mixing them up. A lot of people have asked me, do you absolutely have to use 205G0 and a mix of dielectric grease? Can you use one or the other? Yes, sure, why not? The only reason why I mix it up is because I'm min-maxing. You know, at least I feel that putting 205G0 where the, oh, that fell, where the stab stem meets the stab housing actually makes it feel smoother, I think. But for years I have been using purely dielectric grease and I have been happy with the result. So, you know. And of course I put the stem in backwards. There we go. Necrogami says, I can't wait to get the last parts to build my 2x1800 with the milky top GAT yellows. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Alright. No, I keep dropping things. I keep dropping things. Who is it? What is your opinion on the 8008 inks with GAT yellow springs? I think they are aesthetic, but I have yet to try any ink switches with a GAT yellow spring in them. Like, I really like the GAT yellow spring, so I have no doubt that they'll feel good. I wish Dixie the best of luck and then reaching his MOQs. Like, if I have any spare money, I'll probably buy some, but at this point, I have no intention of buying. Mainly because NorCal is just, what? It's on November 9th, and this Tuesday will already be October. So I gotta really watch what I'm spending here, because when I get there, I wanna be able to go out to all the food that people go to. And since it's at the Mosaic restaurant, they will have a bar there too, which I will gladly partake in. And if any of you are in NorCal, be sure to come by and say hi. If you guys want to try some port, I have become very well versed in it. So I can recommend some for you at the bar as well. Not Geo says I spent a good amount at that bar. I think a lot of us did. Yeah. And hence the reason why I am trying to save money here. Not Geo says, yeah, that's what Not Geo said. Tommy Cran says, have you already bought your plane ticket? Yes, I bought my plane ticket about 3 weeks ago. I have my plane tickets and I have my hotel all booked. I'm ready to go. I had to double check with Huey though. Huey, who was man of interest, just to make sure that I was booking the correct days, correct location, all that good stuff. But yeah, last year's NorCal meetup was also the first time I'd ever met Not Geo. I'd always talked with Not Geo, but that was the first time that I actually met him. I feel like I'm missing a stem here. Probably pop up. It was good times, this Geo. Yeah, definitely was. That was also the first time that I ever met Olivia. Yeah, met Olivia for the first time then. I think that's also the first time that I met Norbauer. You know? Let's see. Oh yeah, was that the first time I met Yan? Yeah, I think that's the first time that I met Yan as well, who is another QMK collaborator. Yeah, it's a good time. So it's so many people showing up, makes it really fun. Oh, that's also the first time that I met Nathan. Nathan was there. He's taller than I expected. But, you know, I should have guessed that because all my friends who are Korean are taller than me, so that's something I should have expected. Not Geo says, Seattle is where you got to play with my staff. Oh boy. That seems to be what everyone remembers in Seattle. Like, oh, I got to play with Merlin's staff, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, even Jay played with it. Okay, let's put this on the PCB. It's been a while since I've used actual clip-on stabs. Not bad. Not bad. My first boards were made with clip-on stabs, and miraculously they are still working. None of them have ever popped out. Hopefully they'll stay that way, right? 7W0K says, hey Merle, I got a problem with my spacebar since you're very good at keys. By what I know, can you help me after the stream end? I will DM you on Discord. I have places to be after the stream actually, so still DM me on Discord, but it'll probably be like maybe later on tonight that I can get to you, so apologies if it takes a while. Fluffy was taken as playing with Merlin's staff. Now that's a thought. So for those of you who don't know about my staff, I'm going to talk about the legends of Merlin's staff. It was first featured in my Magic Force 68 review video. You can check it out there. You'll probably see it in the Seattle Talks video as well. But yeah, the story behind that is at one of my former co-workers, his hobby was making walking sticks. He did this for fun. He made some for his kids, made some for anyone who asked. Found out that I really liked keyboards, really liked keyboards. So he's like, Merlin, I'll make you something. So he made me something, and I was very appreciative. He's like, oh, hopefully you'll carry this with you on all your camping adventures. And it's so nice that I'm like, if I were to ever break it, I would legit feel really sad. So it just sits in my room. I bring it to keyboard meetups. That's about it, really. Oh, looks like I didn't need that extra stab. Oh well. Show us your staff. People want to see my staff. Oh man. Okay, maybe I need to do if I can get 100 likes or something, I'll have a staff reveal. But yeah, it's just over here. I'll probably grab it later if I reach a good stopping point. But here we go. Got all the stabs in. All the stabs are in place. Okay. Let's see if we can put these PCB mounts in place. Actually don't know how to do this, so I'll probably be stumped for a few minutes. There it is. Okay. Let's take it apart. Looks nice. Looks very nice. Let me actually, just to be absolutely sure I don't add any more dents and stuff to it. Okay. Let us find the appropriate hex bit. That's too small. Bree says the 6.25 are all still Garbo, but you can get the single 7Us to make up for it. What are you guys talking about? Oh, the key company has pre-tooled GMK7U and 2U stabs. Ooh. It's funny how we now have pre-tooled, retooled, all this lingo, talking about when something was made. There's no wonder why so many people get so confused. All the new people are like, what's what? I don't get it. I don't know how this is done. Wait, is this not magnetic? No, it is magnetic, folks. Sweet. That's good to know. That rattle is atrocious. Yeah, you guys can hear that rattle, huh? Well, hopefully it won't be too bad later. Oh yeah. just put it in here so I don't lose these screws. Buying stabs are a pain in the butt. I agree. Okay. Need to go deep down in there to screw it out. So much rattle already. All right, let's lift it up, see what happens. Okay, so how does this all come together? Oh yeah, guys, so this is what I like so much about this case. See that USB-C hole right there? That's cut to fit. It's not just some large hole like the, what's that other KBDFans board? The tofu, yeah, where it's just like a big hole. I'm really glad that they did this. Okay. I wish KBDFans would actually put build instructions, because now I gotta put this together, and I'm not too sure how so it all fits together. Okay, so I'm assuming it goes in there. Okay, I'm assuming that these guys go here to mount the PCB onto the case. I mean, to mount the PCB onto the plate. That is what I'm assuming. Maybe. We'll see. And then I have to figure out, there are two types of screws here. One is flat and one is hex. Okay. Okay, I see it. You can put the hex ones, mount the plate to the top, and I'm assuming the flat ones are what's going to mount the standoffs together. Okay, let's do this. Fluffy was taken says, well cut holes are so underrated. I agree. Aren't you going to put any foam under the PCB? Not for this build. I am building this as close to stock as I can for the time being, just so people can hear what this board sounds like and what it looks like. But I do have foam. It's on its way here. It'll be here. Okay. All right. Let us figure this out. Fun spoiler, thanks for joining in. Okay. you can go sit here for now. Well, ooh, look at all here. You guys hear all of that rattle? That's kind of bad. No. So much rattle, so much ping. Shoots. Just such tiny parts. There we go. Not bad. One in. Gotta get them all in. Do you guys see what I'm doing? That's where they are. Got a couple more to put in. Forsen E-Clap says, is this the hot swap version? Yes, this is the hot swap version and the currently only version available. But if I end up liking this board a lot, I might buy the soldered version once that is available. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah, I am so thankful that these are all magnetic. Makes it so much easier. Just a few more standoffs, and we can actually start connecting the PCB. Yeah, so the reason why this has to be done is because if you simply take a hot swap PCB and you put it in a top mount case, if you happen to take off all of the switches, like, okay, the only thing holding a hot swap to a top mount is usually the switches. So when you're hot swapping, there's a chance that the PCB will just fall off. So this is why KBDFans has to put in standoffs to avoid that situation. So I think if I ever do get that soldered board, I may have to remove these standoffs if that solder board does not have these holes. But I would prefer if it did, just to add more stability into it. I am at the last one. Hooray! Oh man. It's kind of hard to... All right. Boom. We got it. Okay. Now I'm just gonna take the PCB. Take back the PCB. And okay. There we go. I think that works, right? Stabs have to go in. Yep, stabs are in. And screw it in the rest of the way. Doesn't really quite screw in there. Why not? Did I do it wrong? I don't know. That's screwed in. Well, I don't know. They're not screwing in. I'm gonna screw in the plate first, just to be absolutely sure. Then we'll work on this some more. I don't understand why it's not screwing in. There's only a hot swap version. Yes, that is correct. Only hot swap is available. Okay. Okay, the fact that, let's see, where did I put my stab box? It's weird, I'm not actually able to screw it in properly from the back, so I'm wondering, I don't know why. Check to see if these are the right screws. Hopefully. You know, I would be very surprised if KBDFans sent the wrong screws. That would be terrible if they sent the wrong screws, right? Because some of them fit. You just have to be selective on which ones. Go. Okay, well. I didn't even screw all of them in. There are more of the hex screws than there are of the flat screws. And the hex screws are the ones that mount the plate on. I wonder if they are... Huh. I didn't get enough screws. That kind of sucks. 7 Walk says, what dust mat is this? This is one of the dust mats that I purchased on KeyClack. I'm not sure if KeyClack is still around, but they were the ones who sold the original M65A and Solarized Dark. And this is basically just it's like an exploded cherry switch. Okay. It is what it is. Let me grab my switches now. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna be building these with the Yock purple switches. Yeah, mine, PC Load Letter says my 8X Mark II came with extra screws. Well, mine came with less screws, so I'm like, Okay. Well, hopefully I've got enough screws, and once I put the hot swaps in, that shouldn't be a problem, right? I hope. Okay. Oh, here we go. The PCB is already on. Should just be able to put on the switches, right? I'm gonna treat this as if it were a soldered board and start just putting it on the corners. And considering that Yocks are missing those 2 extra pins, so I'm not actually gonna get the added stability. This is another reason why I wanted to put Gateron yellows in this, but you know, it is what it is. Man, that's Well, that didn't turn out right, and a screw came off. Wow. I don't know if this is an issue with me not having the right screws, or I don't know actually. There we go. There we go. Okay. Got one switch in. Escape key. Oh, I can hear it vibrate. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear that? Here, I'm gonna turn off my music really quick. Just listen to that. Keep in mind that's on this foam thing on my desk mat, so there's enough dampening on it. It's just, holy crap. Okay, is that, maybe that's part of it is from the switch? Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Snapping in. Okay. Got most of the corners in. Do the two center ones. Nebulin says, I had so much trouble with those switches and hot swap. Really? These guys? You had to put them all on the plate first, then the PCB. Really? Okay. Well, so far I'm doing pretty good for myself, I think. We'll see. We'll see if the board actually works right once I'm done. That's the true test. If I actually built it correct or not. Yeah, sometimes hot swap is actually more difficult to build than soldered. I've said it multiple times already, but I highly prefer soldered boards over non-soldered boards. Oh yeah, let me bring up the music again, since we're no longer demonstrating how rattly this board is. But yeah, my initial impression is if you guys go to MK Ultra and get some switch foam, that will probably help reduce the rattle. I don't know. But as it is right now, this board rattles so much. Yeah, Yeah, well, while I'm doing this, we chat about something new in QMK. So I knew that I was getting this board, and I realized that I don't really have a key map for it yet. So in the middle of me making this, I realized that it was actually the same layout, the exact same layout as my Doro 67. And I'm like, surely these are not the only two boards that are like that. And lo and behold, I discovered that the Canoe is like this too. The exclusive 6.5, the Space 65, the ANSI, the Mass Drop, a lot of boards look exactly like this. So I created a new default layout, 65 ANSI blocker. So now I just have to make one key map to rule them all. All my boards that have the same layout will benefit from the same key map. And notice how I have this soft padding here that came with the board that I'm just securing it on. Because I feel like if I wasn't any more careful, I would actually be popping off the sockets with the amount of force that I'm using right now. Does MK Ultra have foam for Mark II yet? Good question. Oh, that hurts my thumb. That hurts my thumb. Let me look for something I can actually push it down with. Aha! The reason why it's so difficult to put these in, it's because these are Yock switches, which are actually, since they're copies of the Panda housings, they are slightly bigger. If I had gone with my Gateron approach, this would have been like I could be doing these without having like the back as much, and you guys wouldn't be hearing the clack every time I push it in. But this is simply because of the type of switch I have chosen. Nebula has corrected me. The housing is not bigger, it's the retention clip. Oh, interesting. Today I learned you can make it easier if you use the switch removal tool to help compress them. Oh, really? Oh well, I've already found a switch compression tool of my own. Ooh. They are molded into the sides of the housing instead of being on wings. Get the finger condom like Nathan. We'll see. In case you guys are wondering what this is the tool to remove the different sockets from my desoldering gun. It's just this big block of plastic. It even says hot, caution. Joe CR2 says, I think Black Cat Inks housings are thicker than Panda housings. Really? But as Nebulant just explained, it's not actually the housing that's causing it to not fit. It's the clips. Pop, 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 pop. It does sound good when I do that. It feels like it's like a satisfying clack. What is the tool you're using? Oh, this is the tool that's used to remove the different nozzles on my Hakko FR300 desoldering gun. So it gets on to the, actually I'll just show you. Just show you guys. Here we go, here we go, here. Here's the Hakko desoldering gun. You take this thing, put it on, then you turn counterclockwise, you pull it out. Now you can do this. You have this, then you have the nozzle right there. Then you can swap it out for another nozzle. Put it on, like so. Put it back on, like that. Then to tighten it, put this back in. Turn clockwise to lock it in place. There we go. So that is what I'm using because it's a nice dense grip. It's not anything like keyboard specific. Do you think the desoldering gun is worth it? I absolutely think it is worth it. If you are into keyboards and you actually buy a lot of them, it is an absolutely necessary tool. Like, you can get really, really good with desoldering, but this tool will cut your time in half or more. Like on a full-size board, if I was doing that like the usual route, just with the soldering iron and a suction pump, I could probably do a full size in maybe like an hour 15 minutes. Just like taking my time, making sure I do things properly. Assuming it's not a lead-free board, because if it's lead-free, that takes even longer. A desoldering gun would probably cut that time to 30 minutes. And if it is lead-free, the desoldering gun can take care of that too, so you don't even have to worry. I think the purple actually looks really good here, guys. Purple and gold. purple and gold. The colors of University of Washington, the premier university in my state. Do I have any idea of what keycaps I want on these? I do actually, and you shall see it in a bit. This is going to be my work board, so I'm just going to put what I've been using at work for the longest time on them. Almost there. Reminds me of the Lakers. Yes, indeed. No, if I did have to pick a GMK set that went on this, I would probably put GMK Violet on Cream or GMK Phantom. At least those are the two that I think would look good. Disclaimer though, I am partially colorblind to the color purple. So there are some shades of purple that I cannot see, or I see them but they just look different. Looks different than to other regular people. Hence, the reason why I have never bought a purple set, just because I can't trust my eyes. And guys, look, the final switch. Okay, finally. Alright, you guys have seen the brutal approach I've used to putting these switches in. Hopefully I haven't damaged any of the hot swap sockets. So before we actually put the board together, we are going to test it one more time. How many switches do you guys think I've broken? Or how many hot swap sockets? I'm really hoping 0, but you know, sometimes things don't work out that way. I bet 2 are not going to work. 2, 4. Well, okay, before we get there, I need to get the board to actually turn on first. It's not turning on. Oh, wait. There we go. Just took a bit. Board turns on. Hooray. Okay. So let's go over what people were saying. Some people say 2, 4, 1, 0, 67. Ouch. And our Bigfoot. Ouch. That hurts, man. That hurts, man. I'm not a noob. I can build keyboards. I know what I'm doing. Don't make me feel bad. Okay, here goes, here goes. You guys can watch what's happening as I test it. Okay, so this is my FN key. F1 should be triggered. There we go. Looks like J, huh? Yep, J's not triggering. Okay, there's one key. One key. Oh my gosh. One key. It was this guy. All right, I'm gonna have to pull him out. A, S, D, F, G, H, J. Okay. And what do you know? Yep. Come on, focus. Yep. Yep. Not bad, right? Not bad. Okay. I'm gonna have to say this. There are a lot of people who like do this same thing. And like, they build the board, they're like, one of my switches doesn't work. 90% of the time, it's because, you know, one of the legs got bent. So if you're building a hot swap board for the first time, make sure you check for that. And also check your board before you put it together. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that fixed it. Yay, it's fixed. Hooray. Hooray. Okay. So now with all the switches in, it doesn't sound as rattly. Right, guys? Not that rattly anymore. Let's put it together. Oh, of course. Of course the other screws I put in just came out. This is useless. Useless. Useless screws. Alright. Where's that bottom half? Here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Alright. Let's put it on. There we go. Nebulan says, did you already talk about the switches? I talked about my initial impressions of them, which were they were definitely more tactile than Z1s. Zelio V1s, not quite a Zelio V2. So, but because I only had them in my hand and not in a board, I didn't really feel like I could give a good enough estimate of how it felt. So I will be talking about that today after I put this together. Short, sharp bump versus rounded. You like them quite a bit. They remind me very much like Ergo Clears, actually. Like a more tactile Ergo Clear. A box navy without the click, really? I think box navy's a little bit too tactile. Just not what I anticipated here. Doesn't seem to be the right screw. Your favorite switches links takes to pages with wrong certificates. Uh-oh. I suppose links have changed. I'll look into that after the stream. Thank you, Router Stream. So far, so good. Okay. Let's see. Averick says, so I have a pre-built keyboard looking to build my own in the future, but for now I want to try and mitigate the ping sound my switches make. Is that possible? Yes, it is. If you open up your switches and lube the spring, you can absolutely mitigate that. Basically, all you need to do is add a tiny bit of lube on top of the spring and a tiny bit of lube under the spring. That's the way that I do it. Other people take all of the springs, put it in a little bucket. I like to use like the little condiment buckets. I mean, the little condiment trays, I guess, that you can put ketchup in and all that. And I just put all the springs in there. I put a few drops of knife oil or whatever oil TX Keyboard sends you, and I shake it. I shake it every 10 minutes or so. I think there was a stream I did where I was gonna use those springs, so I just shook it in the middle of the stream. Last screw, guys. The final screw. There we go. Here it is. Not bad. I can still hear the rattle. Rattly, rattly, rattly. Okay. We are gonna put keycaps on. So the keycaps that I like to use for work, because I tend to eat at my desk, especially while I'm working, I like to use PBT keycaps. And as such, I'll be using Cyrillic ePBT to do this. All the spots are screwed in, and that is why it is so unfortunate. Yeah, it's a very rattly case. If you guys have any foam, I would highly suggest putting it in. Do you have any of the fiber washers from Screw and Stabs? I do, except mine are really thin. I like how that feels though. What if you are using O-ring? The O-ring dampens the downstroke. So it would dampen that, but most of the sound that I'm hearing is from, I think, the hollow chamber in between and possibly not enough mounts. Not enough screws to mount the plate to the top. At least that's what I'm thinking. It's not gonna really matter too much when I'm at work, to be honest. Dum de dum de dum. Can you wash your ABS keycaps with soap and warm water without damaging them? That depends. There are many different kinds of ABS keycaps. If you have the ABS keycaps that are double shot, in which the legend and the rest of the keycap are different types of plastic, you should be good. But if you have ABS plastic keycaps that are simply painted, you can possibly damage them. So know what you have. Okay. Do a fan key right there. Hey Tefram, thanks for joining in. Aha. Okay, I need to find other caps now that were not in my base kit. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Actually, no, I don't want that shift. I want a different shift. I need to find arrow keys. So, go. Where are you, arrow keys? There we go. All right. Okay, I just have to figure out what the heck my rightmost column is. Take a look at what my key map is. Yes, I don't know my own key maps. Let's see. Okay. See, what I have on the rightmost is insert, delete, page up, page down. Okay. Nope, that's not the right one. Okay. Let's find. Let's figure this out. Anything here? That's cute. FN key. Another delete key. How cute. Print screen system requirements. Forgotten what this set has. I've only ever had this on a 60%. So it's like, oh hey, that's new. Cute scroll lock. Okay, I think that's what I have to work with. Okay, let's do this. I could probably put the FN there, but let's try and make things at least seem like they work. Averick says, your friend built a really expensive keyboard just to play Fortnite. Awesome. You don't need an expensive keyboard to play games. What's important is that the keyboard that you have, that you're using, is comfortable for you. Not quite the correct profile, but it will have to do for now. Okay guys, I've built it. KBD67 Mark II. Hey Yan, thanks for joining in. You're at the tail end of the build. It's done. It's done. I've tested it. It works. I just have to do a typing test and try and listen in, see if it rattles as much. Here we go. Let me pause the music again. Here we go. Yacht tactiles, yep. This actually feels really good. I like this a lot. It does sound a lot noisy. Here, I'm gonna put it right next to the mic. But now it's not like on a desk mat, so it's probably gonna rattle more. I like it. I actually do. Still a bit slippery because I didn't put the feet on. That's fine for now. Need to stuff the housing. The switches are your favorite recent tactile, says Nebulant. They really need some lube. They do. But I think I might break it in first. Let's see. They're really light too. They're almost like 62G, 65G, somewhere there. Okay. Let's plug it in. Oh yeah, because of the Yock switches that are not clear, and also I guess the keycaps, you can't really see the RGB anymore. That's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Oh, Yan wants to see the weight. Here's the weight. Look at that. I'm not too big a fan of the grill. I would have preferred if it was just like a solid weight all the way through. Because that way, if it was just a solid weight, you know, you could actually measure it out properly and then be like, okay, I'll just change it on my own. But this way, it makes it so you actually have to adhere to the grill design and you have to adhere to this logo. So you can't make your own weight for it. You really have to stick to the KBDFans weight, which I don't like branding on a board that's like letters. Like if it's like a logo, then it's cool, but if it actually says something like KBDFans, that's where I'm like a little bit no, that doesn't look nice to me. All right, let's do a typing test. Let's see. 10 fast fingers. 10 fast fingers. Let's see how fast I can type. With these new switches that actually feel really good. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that it's not showing the RGB as much. Like if I look this way, like from this angle, I can see it. But when I'm looking over it right now, I don't see the RGB. Like, can you guys see the RGB? Like, I can't. It's not like, it's not as pretty as this. This guy right here. Yeah, and look. It's your favorite board. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I still like the Doro 67 more at this point, to be honest. But we'll see after a week. Okay, so both boards have the same exact layout. Let's try this. Stop seeing this ad. Not interested in this ad. We'll try not to show that again. Great, thank you. Here goes. Okay, how fast do you guys think I can type this? I'm faster on linears. $70 ppm, yeah. Possibly. Okay. Let's see, what am I looking for here? I am looking for my little wrist rest. Recently 159 brought it to my attention that I'll probably hurt my wrist if I type with them on the desk like I usually do. He suggested I put on a wrist rest, so I will follow his advice. There we go. Wow, so many wrong words. I'm just gonna start over again. Whew. Let's try again. Wow. I'm beginning to notice that lighter switches make me mess up more, but heavier switches make me slow down. So I'm gonna focus on accuracy. Let's try this. Accuracy. Yeah, so much for that, right? 123 with 9 wrong words, so I'd say that's more like 115. Man, that's slow. That's slower than I usually do. It's not a real sentence, it's punctuations. Yeah, someone recommended a typing test for me that was actually sentences. But I can't remember what it is anymore. But here, let's go try it again so we have a bigger sample size. So I can flex my typing speed. There we go. Type Racer, yeah, this is this is 10 fast fingers, and it's not Type Racer. It's it looked like a really old tool from the 90s, but I guess Type Racer looks like that too. So, well, here we go. Whoa. $129 with 6 long words. Okay, that's slightly better. $125. There we go. Keyhero.com. Okay, let me take a look at that. Keyhero.com. Is this it? Here, I'm going to show you guys what Nebulant linked to me. Keyhero.com. Click Start to begin the test. Press Escape to skip a quote. Let's give it a shot. Let's try. Okay, this is an actual real sentence. Wow, I suck. Let's try again. What? I'm like off by 1 here. What? Okay, here we go. Okay, never mind. Never mind. This sucks. Okay, let's see. Nebulant says he uses. Let's go look at what four style says first. Dactylotest. Here, let's try that one. Dactylotest. Oof. I can't even read this. There, you guys can see. I can't even read that. Okay. Keybr.com says Nebulant. Let's take a look at this. Practice touch typing. Ooh. Ooh. This is interesting. Oh, okay, so it's making you get used to where the E and the R's are, and this one I guess is the L and the I's. Oh, cool. It's very interesting. Change the language. Okay, what's this? You guys better not be sending me like random links that will hack my computer or something. Too late, Merlin! Ooh, this one's a game. Z-Type, new game. Ooh, fancy. What do I... Oh, okay. This is pretty cool. I am saving this link. This is pretty cool. This is really cool. I like this. I like this a lot. Thank you for recommending this Rotor stream. Okay, this could potentially occupy a lot of my time. Interesting. Okay, okay. So, one thing I'm noticing with this keyboard, maybe I'm just coming up for excuses with my lack of accuracy, but I seem to be making more errors on it than usual. And it has been reported, it's been reported that there's a bug on it, where if you type too fast, you start missing keys. I wonder if that is true? We did flash it with the newest QMK, so I just want to, I don't know, do a few tests here just to be absolutely sure. I'm going to go back to 10 fast fingers. I'm just going to... Okay. Really? Okay. Okay, maybe I'm just coming up with excuses for my wrong word count. But yeah, okay. All right, maybe it's not there anymore. Maybe it is indeed fixed. Cool. Okay. Okay, in terms of how I feel about these switches and this keyboard, you guys have seen my total experience with it just on this stream alone. I am, for $229, it's really not bad. Like, you're going to have to look past all of the, you know, all of the manufacturing issues. Like right here, I can see it. There's like 2 little chips. It's not super noticeable, but it's there. It's there and it sucks. It's not fun. You know, it's typical KBDFans. They are cheap entry-level custom. Some of you who I've talked to in the past like have heard me say like I'm only gonna buy like the actual more custom boards, and the reason why I've said that is because this was $229. Like, it's not cheap. It's not. Maybe it's cheap if you're accustomed to buying like key cults and stuff like that, but $229 is not cheap for the average person. And the fact that you have to spend more than $229 to get a board that is free of blemishes and little manufacturing chips, scratches, and all that is kind of scary. You know? Type on my Doro67 to compare. Sure. Let me pull this out. But yeah, I currently still really like the Doro67. Here, I'm going to show you guys a bit about it. If you guys have never seen the Doro67 is 80 Ultraman and Alf's answer to the M65. They made it so it's got a centered USB-C with native QMK on it, and in-switch RGB underglow, and with blocker, which a lot of people liked. So it looks just like an M65A. Kind of looks like a Koryu as well. And the difference with these are you can opt to have a brass weight on the back. And as you can see, it's completely covered in my fingerprints. And I just want to say that it's not as shiny as normal because it actually came this way. This is after me attempting to polish it and just giving up because, you know, for some reason the rest of the board turned out great, but the PVD that they were doing was just completely garbage. But I am stuck with it. I like it. It's not bad. But out of the two 65% that I currently own, I still prefer this. But here, let's actually do that typing test. Let's see if it's any different. So keep in mind, different switches, different keycaps, different angle even, I think. But considering that RGB is actually showing up on this, I should be able to type faster. We'll see. Foundation or Honeywell. This is neither. This is MKII Ashen, one of the first MKII keycaps to go on sale. The reason why I bought this was because I was entering a stage in which I was getting really tired of SA, and like it looked great, but I just couldn't type properly on it. But I still liked it, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just buy a MKII set so I'm not spending like $200. Can you sand off the PVD and repolish it? Definitely. But I have other plans for this board. I have located a Cerakoting shop less than 30 minutes away from me. And my friend actually recommended them because this same shop Cerakoted his Octagon B2 and his MKII board, and they looked great. So I'm assuming they should be able to Cerakote a flat plate, right? We shall see. But it's obviously not a priority for me because I've had this for a couple of months now, and it's like, I never really see it. The only time it matters is when I show it on stream or when I'm showing someone. If you need more boards for MOQ, hit me up. Okay. That's actually... Okay, I will reach out to them then. Okay, here goes. Typing test. I really screwed up the first word. Let's try again there. No. $121. Okay, alright, yeah. Maybe I'm just not typing as fast, but here we go. $121. 121. But I already know that I like this board much better. Cause I'm on a linear kick right now. So who knows? I'll bring this to work, type on it for a week. We'll see. If not, Gateron yellows it is. And hopefully I won't have such a difficult time putting it into the plate. Yeah, look at that. Let's see. I wish I could like safely hold up both boards at the same time, because this is kind of scary, to be honest. Yeah. There we go. My 265%. And who knows? If I somehow win the lottery or something, I'll buy like that Key 65 board. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. Just to give a brief synopsis of what I did today, I built the KBD67 Mark II RGB, the newest board from KBDFans. Features a brass grill-like weight on the back, USB-C, I believe it's an 8-degree angle, semi-thick bezels, top mount plate, and what else? And fully hot swappable. Some of the issues I saw with it is that it doesn't sound very good when it's rattly. I can hear all that hollowness just right now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's probably one of the things that I would be concerned about. Also, as typical of KBDFans quality, the cases are not perfect. Like, they only made 100 of these, I think. I could be off by 10 or something, but just that limited number led to almost everyone I've talked to has had their keyboards have like little nicks and scratches. Like for me, I found 4 different nicks and dents, and I got 1 scratch on my weight. So yeah, just if you're interested in this board, round 2 should be starting in the middle of October, but just be aware that that's what you're getting into. I don't own any of their other boards, but I've helped build them, and it's like a similar deal, but just be aware that that stuff does happen. Oh yeah. So all of this is already officially in QMK. You can use QMK configurator, you can use command line QMK. You're able to flash this with QMK toolbox as long as you have the right drivers, all that good stuff, you know. But yeah, if you have any troubles flashing it, please let me know. My main computer is a Hackintosh actually, so I do everything through command line. But I also know how to install the drivers through Windows. But yeah, that's it. How long did that take me? You started at 1, it's now 3:24 p.m. PST, so just a little over 2 hours. If you take out all my explanation and stuff, yeah, probably a 2-hour build. See, Leviathan says, that looks good, just joined. Well, welcome. This is literally the end of the stream. Doe CR2 says, pray for Polaris. Yeah, I know, right? With the 1,000 units, who knows? Who knows? I have this gut feeling that a lot of people who joined in on the hype are gonna be like upset. So, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed on Polaris. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually just gonna put the feet on, and then we'll probably go to the end. Yeah, 1,000 plus. 1,000 plus. Some reports say it was like 1,500, but I'm like, that's kind of insane. How much was Polaris? Like 240, right? 240 to 250. If he really sold 1,000 units, that's like that is a lot of money. That's a down payment for a house. 250K, anywhere between. So he would probably, if he's earning 10% from that, that's still a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, everyone who has bought Polaris, I highly. Good luck. That's, I guess that's all I have to say. They get upset. Cheap Polaris. I know, seriously. Someone's gonna be like, mine has a scratch on it. So I'm gonna take off like 50 bucks off the price, which would be great. Okay, there we go. Board is officially done. No major issues. Well, I don't have any major issues on this either, but you know, compared to other boards that I've bought, this is probably the board with the most issues I've ever received, and I swear I've spent more than I've spent less than $200 on some boards, and it wasn't even as bad as this. So yeah, but from your guys' view, it doesn't look bad. Like, it's not like there's a huge dent or like anything, but you know, yeah. All right, I'm gonna bring this board in on Monday, and we'll see how I like it after a week. I shall report back probably by the next build stream. We'll see what I do then. Hopefully my Xeno will be in. Who knows, right? Denton Burden Jr. says, hey Sexy, build me a Bluetooth keyboard. Sure, send me a Bluetooth keyboard and I will build you a Bluetooth keyboard. Bree says, I missed a chunk. What's the rundown of issues? It's rattly. It's rattly mainly because it's hollow, and it's typical KBDFans quality. You've got your little scratches, dings and dents, all that good stuff. You just want your Xeno. I just want my Xeno too, and every time I go up to Canada, because Zeal is literally only 2.5 hours away from me, I drop by, I say hello. Sometimes I buy something, sometimes I don't. And I'm like, hey, so how about Xenos? Last time I was there, which was in late August, early September, he did have the Xeno PCBs. He's just waiting. Like, I got one of the... I got one of the rose gold ones, so mine's gonna be especially long. Okay, yeah, I am currently trying to fix this leg, but it's not really working out for me right now. Oh well. Oh, there we go, got it. I got it. There we go. I'm gonna make it as straight as I can. Are you straight? Yeah, you look straight. It's kind of bent, but there we go. Okay. Tommy Cran says, I really want my Xeno too. I bet everyone wants their Xeno. Bree says, okay, so visual B stock and no foam. That's pretty easy to mitigate. Not too worried about that. Yep. Yeah. I would say MK Ultra has foam. Actually, I should be typing with this board so I can get the maximum amount of feel from it. But if you guys do build a board like this, just so your RGBs actually show, I would highly recommend getting some kind of clear top or like milky top instead of the Yox. That's only if you actually like RGBs. But hold on, what I'm doing right now is trying to find if MK Ultra actually has foam. $65%? There we go, 65% foam. He's got the Tada 68. Let's see, there we go. He's got the Tada 68. He's got the KBD67 plate foam. Hot swap. This is probably the Rev 1. So he doesn't have any photos of it. So it probably doesn't take into account the standoffs. You could probably still buy this one. You could probably still buy it and then just poke the holes yourself. He's got case foam too. Okay, so this one should work. MKII. Right. Yeah, so the case foam is there, but you just need to poke holes for the actual plate foam. You know, once KBDFans actually releases the soldered version and I end up really liking this board, I'll just swap to that and use the regular KBD67 foam. Okay, that's a lot of foam. What 75% foam does he have? KBD75 V1. Okay. Cool. Interesting. I've never actually gone through his entire website. Just the foams. I bought a bunch of 60% foams. And yeah, this guy is pretty cool. I got to meet him for the first time in Seattle. So here we go, just a quick show of some of his products. That's his 60% foam right there. I also got a bunch of his keyboard case foams, and he was so nice. He actually put my logo on it, and I was really grateful. And then I asked him, but I'm never gonna see this. He's like, yeah, that's true. Bree says, I think the plate foam would be valid as well. Yeah, I think it would. You just have to poke holes for all of the standoffs. Should be fine, I think. Anyway, let's see. What time is it? 3:30. Okay, I have to go off to another prior engagement. But thank you everyone for joining my stream. Thank you to the 62 viewers currently watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream and maybe got a good look as to whether you want to buy this board or not. I still don't have my full thoughts on it, but hopefully I'll be able to do some kind of a review on it in the near future after using it for a week. I don't like fully reviewing a board until I've actually used it, you know? So we'll see. Like all of my reviews today have just been superficial. This is what I see out of the box and all that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you like more of what you see, definitely hit up my affiliate links that you see on the left. I've got discount codes for Novelkeys and for Keebio, and if you use any of those affiliate links, I do get a small chunk. All of this goes to improving the channel, buying new equipment, doing more giveaways. I already did the giveaway this month, so but October is just 3 days away, so it's time for another giveaway soon. But yeah, if you want to know more of what I do, definitely hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And if you want to know more about my upcoming products or projects, such as GMK Gold Rush, definitely check out my Discord server. Alright, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you tomorrow night for a keyboard chore stream. Goodbye and good luck. Bye-bye.